An update now on a doctor who had been accused of molesting his neurology patients for years. Dr. Mengeleck has since pled guilty to sexually assaulting at least 2 patients. The victims are now suing the doctor and Henry Ford Health System. We're told the hospital knew about his pattern and did nothing to stop it. Same doctor.
2016, I was seeing Dr. Mangalick.
Different problem with pain.
Migraines and cluster headaches.
But the exact same claim of sexual assault.
I sat up as fast as I could. And I was like, what are you doing? Actually, I said, what the do you think you're doing?
Christy Watts talking about what happened back in 2016 during an appointment with Henry Ford Health neurologist, Dr. Mengeleck. The Wyandotte-based doctor had always given her Botox shots for her headaches. But this time,
I really wasn't thinking anything was wrong. I mean, he's a doctor. And he leaned back to the table, and before I could even blink, he pushed my shirt and my bra up over my chest and was groping me.
We first told you about Dr. Mengeleck last June. Former patient Christy Farley told us how Mengeleck, who was supposed to treat her for extreme nerve pain in her back and neck, instead started groping her breasts.
Rip my bra up above my breasts and start fondling both of my breasts.
A lot has happened since our story first aired. According to attorney Jim Razor, a total of 6 women have come forward with the same allegations of sex assault against Dr. Mengeleck. Both victims you already heard from filed complaints against the doctor. Wyandotte police investigated, and Mengeleck was eventually charged with 4th-degree criminal sexual conduct. The women say they were ready to testify against their attacker in court until the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office offered Mengeleck a deal.
No contest. This is guilty. Guilty. Guilty.
In November 2021, Mengeleck pled guilty to sexually assaulting both women in exchange for amending the charge to assault and battery. Dr. Mengeleck would also lose his medical license and have to close his practice. For his victims, it's not enough.
I know that justice was not done at all. I mean, he didn't have to go to jail for what he did. He's not on any sex offender registry.
And it took so much, to get him prosecuted. So he got prosecuted, but he's still not a sexual offender, and he should be.
Both women have since filed a lawsuit against Dr. Mengeleck and Henry Ford Health. Their attorney, Jim Razor, says the hospital could have prevented this from happening again. The first sex assault complaint against Dr. Mengeleck doing the exact same thing dates back to 2004. And according to records, Henry Ford worked with the state licensing board, LARA, to get the complaint dismissed.
But Henry Ford knew in 2004 that there were accusations from credible witnesses that he had been molesting them during examinations, and they failed to take even the most basic safeguards to prevent that from happening. All they had to do was require a female medical assistant or nurse to be in the room when he examined women, just as a basic thing. And this would have been prevented.
But that never happened with patient Christy Farley or Christy Watts. And when Watts says she told doctors and other agencies what happened, they told her it was basically her word against the doctor, which is one of the reasons why it took so long for this case to be prosecuted.
He has no clue what he did to me inside. I live with this every day, and it haunts me.
Razor says several other women have since come forward, but are afraid to file a formal complaint. He believes there are even more, but claims nearly 2 decades later, even though Dr. Mengeleck has admitted in court to groping women, Henry Ford still hasn't launched its own investigation, and he claims has stonewalled every attempt to get to the truth.
Henry Ford Hospital needs to tell us all of the complaints that were received. Henry Ford needs to notify all the women that this doctor treated to see whether they were molested.
There's women that are scared to come forward. They're scared. I don't know you know, I guess just the trauma of it, they want to forget it. I don't know, because it's terrible. I've been going through this for quite some time now. And, you know, you can't sleep at night. You think about it all the time. It's terrible.
In response, Henry Ford Health issued this statement, quote, "We take complaints very seriously. When we receive a complaint directly to our organization, we launch an immediate and thorough investigation and take appropriate action when necessary." The doctor in this case was an independent private practice physician and not a Henry Ford Health employee at the time of these allegations. Because of pending litigation related to the physician, we cannot further comment, end quote. Now, when I read that statement, I did question the hospital again, because Dr. Mengeleck had been affiliated with Henry Ford Wyandotte for decades. In fact, many doctors referred patients to him, but Henry Ford Health says, you know, he wasn't an employee. And so that's where, at the time that these situations, these cases were litigated, but of course he was affiliated.